Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the Weekly Comic Roundup. We've got, as I just mentioned earlier, we have a not too big of a haul, so let's keep on trucking with Deadpool Wolverine #1. So, because the Deadpool and Wolverine movie was a massive success, well, Marvel decided, they should cash in on that, so we get a Deadpool and Wolverine ongoing. Which, I mean, I'm not complaining. But, anyways, the issue opens at a former Shield record storage facility. Which has basically been taken over by the Office of National Emergency. And two O&E agents, Andy and Sean, have been tasked with cataloging everything in the facility. And, well, they pretty much just make clear that, in their opinion, it's shit work. But they come upon something that's on a tarp, and they got to find out what they have to catalog everything in there. So pull off the tarp, wrapped in chains. Okay, well, take a sledgehammer to it. Chains are broken, and it basically it's concrete. It's a slab of concrete wrapped in chains, and so okay, what's in? And there's kind of appears to be an adamantium stasis chamber. And so, they open it, and Andy gets a good portion of the upper part of his head, and basically from here up, not including the arms though. He's basically just his body's destroyed. So. Cut to a funeral. Deadpool's crashed. Apparently, Deadpool has taken a contract out not on anyone, but the contract is actually to retrieve the body of the deceased, or rather, at least his teeth. For a black market collector, the teeth having been built from the melted down and reforged sword of Viking Eric the Red. But as Deadpool's making his escape, he suddenly, one of his eyes suddenly glows, and he just stops in his tracks. Then in Canada, this will be a hard concept to accept for all of you, but Wolverine is in a bar. And a rather big and burly guy is accusing a smaller guy of being a mutant with maybe magnetic powers because, well, the little guy beat the big guy at darts. And The big guy's buddies basically said, he asked his buddies to hold the little guy down so he can be with the pool cue, and well, that pool cue suddenly gets sliced into three pieces by Wolverine. Wolverine also smashes his mug of beer in the guy's face, and two of the guy's buddies get shot by Deadpool. Left eye still glowing. He simply says to Logan, "It's time. The mission awaits." But the sky over South Dakota. Wolverine agreed, basically said, "Okay, we'll go along with this because, well, there's something about Deadpool that's a bit off. He's not talking, and everyone knows Deadpool doesn't just talk; he talks nonstop, incessantly. There's always he's always talking unless his mouth has been disabled. And the fact that he's silent has Wolverine a bit on guard, so to speak. But Deadpool's got a single-engine plane, and with the hold back with C4, and is going to crash into a nuclear facility. He shoots Wolverine and says they'll continue the conversation later. Jumps out of the plane, and then well, Wolverine heals eventually from everything that Deadpool collected Logan's body, and they go to Boot Hill. One of the monuments has some future tech in it, retinal scanner, and says positive identification, Wade Wilson, executioner. That piques Logan's mind. So, but as Wade is once again being controlled by someone else, Wolverine stabs him repeatedly and looks into the futuristic facility they're in, and also gouged out, or he cut out Deadpool's eye, saying that Deadpool was on autopilot. Someone was controlling him. Nanites are Logan's guess. His veins, Deadpool's veins must have been swimming with him. Now that Logan's cut him, you can smell the stink of silicon and the burnt ozone of an old computer. And reminisce about the term executioner. That's what the system identified him as. It's a word he thought was dead and buried. We've also got some spare costumes in this facility. One looks like it's was potentially made for Cyclops, but Wade comes to and questions Wolverine about what's going on. Wade decides to get into one of the costumes nearby when Maverick attacks the place. Been hired to basically guard it, and suddenly Deadpool goes back into control of who or whatever, and shoots some of Maverick's people, leading to a fight between once again Deadpool and Wolverine, and Deadpool flies off with rocket boots into the Badlands, where the mastermind is revealed to be none other than Strife. Explains that there are more fossils than in the Badlands than there are living things. That will be true of everywhere soon. We've been waiting a long time for this plan. And Deadpool says that the plan is now in motion. The time of the executioner is upon them. And that is where the issue ends. Okay. Interesting start. I kind of get why Strife would be the mastermind. The crossover, the early '90s crossover Executioner song was the Strife story. But here's the thing: no one at all in that crossover, in all 12 issues, referred to the Executioner. It's actually a separate character that was created about 6 months or so later, maybe even a year later, more than a year probably. But yeah, it's the kind of thing that, you know, I get it. It's the nostalgia. It's basically trying to say, you know, it's linking. It's a good way. It's an easy way to potentially link Strife with the Executioner song story, to aside from us, and not by saying, oh, it's Strife. Remember Executioner song way back in the '90s? But it's just like, okay, well, the Executioner is coming, okay, and it's not Carl Denti. But anyways, overall, I enjoyed the book, and I'm looking forward to seeing where the story goes. It was a nice little trip down memory lane for with some characters, getting to see Maverick once again, and not as much of an asshole as he's been in the last couple years or so, between Blood Hunt and the Weapons of X story and the Krakoan X-Force. But also it was nice seeing Strife. He's not a character that generally pops up all that often. I think the last time I definitively know of him popping up was in way back in Messiah War. So it would have been around about a decade or so ago. But anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, Mastodon, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.